Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I want to make sure that everything is up and running and you guys can hear me this morning. I'm assuming y'all can. So good morning. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Sunday morning. It is January 15th, 2023. So we are ready to rock and roll today, getting everything all set up with the iPad so that we are ready to rock and roll. Good morning to all my users over on Facebook and on YouTube this morning. We have a lot on tap for this morning. Some little projects which are completely in the realm of all things Apareicum. That's right. We're talking about Apareicum this morning. It's taken me about 5 years to probably say that name correctly, but here we are. That is run by Ashley Dodd. So while I'm talking about that, please say good morning before we get started to Jody. She's the only one behind the helm today, and she's got her workload cut out for her with all the stuff. See, she's the one dropping the links in the video today. She's also going to be dropping some information in there as well. So say good morning to Jody. She is doing this all by herself this morning. Gosh. I'm telling you, she is going to be running both of the Facebook where they are on live on Facebook and on YouTube, answering all of your questions. Be gentle to her this morning. She is on the West Coast, so it is rather early there this morning. So good morning, good morning, good morning. I haven't seen Ashley in a minute. You're right. We haven't done a good Apareicum Sassy live in a hot minute. So we're going to be doing that today. We're going to be dropping some nuggets of information. We've changed up our live just a little bit so you have those pressing instructions, which will be coming on the screen. But let's just jump right into it, okay? We're going to be talking about also we're going to drop in some Marvin in there as well. I'll explain it all in a little bit, but let's just show you what I've been working on. So today we're going to be talking about some of the things that Ashley is known for, and that's her tier tray stuff. And I'm going to show you how to make this cute little wreath that you see right here with it's actually her heart keychain, but I put it in the center. We're going to make that today. How over cute is that little tiny wreath? I'm going to show you how I did it. This is totally up Ashley's avenue because she loves doing that kind of stuff, as do I. We're a crafty bunch, we are. So let's just flip the camera. All right, so there we go. We have everything right here. You're going to see all the goodies and all the little nuggets that we're going to be working on today. All right, we're going to be doing a patch. Ashley sells these patches, so we're going to be doing that today. That's going to be, we're going to put it on a knit beanie. We're going to be making some stuff for the tier tray. We're going to be making a car charm. I'm going to show you why I use the elastic versus the jute. We're going to make that wreath that you guys saw. I'm going to go pull that off real quick so you guys can see all the workings of it. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. So I'm going to show you how I did that. We're going to work on that right now. Very simple, no-sew project. Now, I knew I wanted to make a wreath for my tier tray. I wanted it shabby chic, kind of farmhousey style. So now this is going to let your imagination run wild with it. Think of the jute. Think of the rickrack. Think of all the things that you can make out of a wreath. Now, you're going to ask me what these things are. They're earrings. Okay. I needed a hoop, but I couldn't find a hoop small enough that would not be too big for my tier tray. So I went and found at Michael's these beadland. These are connectors. They're just a hoop right here. You can go find them in the jewelry section at Michael's. I figured, what a perfect little hoop. Now, don't cut that off. I actually use that to tie this on here. So it gave me a great anchor. And then I was able to tie at another piece of string, or in this case, I used ribbon to go behind it so I could tie it to my tier tray. But genius, right? So let's start with that first. How I did this, first of all, she sells these as keychains. These are a double-sided keychain. Today, we're going to take this and make it into a car charm. You're going to see that I put it in the center of this wreath. So on that wreath, I cut my fabric. You're going to decide how big or how fluffy you want your wreath to be. So I've already started to do this particular project. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to make sure that I kind of gather my fingers in through here. Keep these two together. Okay. Come up through here. Now I make sure that I come up on the same side all the time because there is a front and a back to this knot. Okay. I feed this through. And then just pull. Okay. And I will show you that right there. See, I pulled it through the wrong side intentionally because this side is supposed to be facing this way. See how that knot's different? So you've got to make sure that when you are doing it, you're consistent so your knots all look the same. So for me, I feed it through the back side. How you do it is up to you. And so they all look the same. Before I really super tighten this down, I feather this out because it fills it nice and fluffies it in, okay? And you see how it fills all that in? I use pinking shears. Gotta love me a good set of pinking shears. Got those at Michael's as well. All right, but I left that there because that's what I'm going to tie this to. All right, and you go all the way around. You decide how full you want it, and that's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Now, you can interchange. Maybe you like that wreath. Maybe you want to put a shamrock in next month. You could untie it, put a shamrock in the next month. Maybe you want to use different rickrack, different ribbons, whatnot. You want to be able to use it to where it's going to stand up. So fabric is best. I wouldn't use a lace unless it has some wire in it. If you're going to use some wire ribbon, that would be ideal because, again, it's going to stick up and it's going to fluff out. All right. The material here does a wonderful job at fluffing out, but you don't want something that's going to droop because it's going to look weird. Yes, it'll give it a shabby chic look, but really, and then you just keep pushing this in till it fills in and it looks like this. Okay, so that's what it looks like with, if I tuck that away, this is what it looks like when it's all done. All right, just go all the way around. If you're going to ask me how many pieces, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did 12 on here. I fluffed it all out and I sat here and I tweaked it all to make sure it was pretty. See, there is a right way and a wrong way. And then I tied it to that loop, bring it over. I only did it one-sided because I didn't need it two-sided. And there you have the absolute cutest little shabby chic wreath ever. Right? Absolutely love this little thing. And there you go. On the cheap, nothing too crazy. Grab yourself some fabric, some pinking shears, and you could put any keychain type of shape in the center of these. They're the perfect size because keychains aren't typically huge, right? So you could keep them relatively small. These make great hoops for that. And they're just earrings. Again, from Michael's, it's called Bead Landing. And just go look in there. It's the 40 millimeter, 8 pieces. You get 8 of them. I think it was like for $3.99 or $4.99, whatever it was. And the fabric of your choosing. Now, of course, yes, I probably could have put it on this, but I felt like this ring for the keychain was too small. I needed something just a little bit bigger. But yes, you can still use them as a keychain. I was going to try to use this. I just want to show you where my brain was when I was let loose in Michael's. So I was going to try to use this. It just didn't give it the look that I wanted. So I said no to it. But found those. I wanted just to keep those in mind. All right, let's put this all aside. I am going to show you her earrings right now. I'm going to take out my pearls. Take out the pearls. Put them up here. So I could show you what these earrings look like on, because a lot of people think that MDF earrings are huge and really they're not. And what they're going to look like, I'm going to go to a bigger screen too. Okay. So this is what they look like on me. All right. They are not overly big. They sit well. They're not heavy at all. They are single-sided. They do have the brown back to them, but really who's going to see the back of them? So there you go. Very lightweight. I use the hooks from Hobby Lobby. They are my favorite hooks. They're the ball hook. these are, I think they're the 14 millimeter. They're the biggest ones, but that's what that design looks like. You're going to see a lot of this design today because it's a part of the doodle theme that I've come out with. We're going to be talking about that. So we're just going to put those in. Put those back in. Now I'm starting to look the part, right? I want to show you something too that I worked on already because I had to show you this. If you guys saw my theme last week, I have a theme going. There's now 2 themes going. I have to show you this that I made. This is also from Ashley. This is her stacked 3 hearts. Yes, all the designs that you see will be for sale later on today in my shop. I added this, what is this, raffia, rickrack? I don't know what the heck it's not rickrack. I don't know what the heck this is called. It's not coming to mind. Straw comes to mind, honestly. But I wanted it to have a farmhouse look. I went with this particular theme. This is matching all of my other Valentine's Day themes that I have for my house. So this will actually go on my front door. Absolutely adorable. Love this. It's about 18 inches in height. It is a nice size. Ashley likes her signs big. I always joke because she's from the South, big or go home, right? So that's what that is. We are going to be doing another sign that she has made. Plus, we're going to be doing some flags all within the same theme. So getting back to that theme, if you will, let me get our stuff. And you get to see what I'm working on. All right. So we're going to make some stuff for the tier tray. And we're going to make a charm. So it could be a car charm. It can be a tier tray charm. Really, it doesn't matter as long as it's a charm, right? So I'm just going to cut up some papers here. A little prep goes a long way some days. As you can see, we definitely have a theme. Now, I have these sets in red and in pink. Today, we're going to be pressing the red. I will show you what the pink looks like as well. But these were all hand-drawn by me late last night because I was like, I don't know what theme to do. I've been working on this theme for about a week and a half now. And I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I wanted something to be slightly different than my norm. So I went with sort of a doodle-ish theme. Sat drawing on my Wacom this morning, or last night, I should say, and finished this up. Now, let's talk about this MDF. What was it saying? I was hoping what? Can you put that comment back up, Jody? Oh, you were hoping for a Valentine's doodle theme. Okay, sorry. That's what I had to think about who said that. If you come up as a Facebook user, like it is right there, you have to go in, and I think it has to happen each year, go in and give permissions to StreamYard to show your name. Otherwise, you come up as a fabulous user. All right, so there you go. We have a doodle theme. So I wanted to do the tier tray stuff. You can add these to your MDF. So for an example, I could have attached any one of these to any of my MDF as a pop-off, a 3D look, whatnot. So I've already prepped it by pulling off the plastic. I'll lay this down. So I did a mason jar. Again, this is for the whole tier tray look. You can actually put it in anything. If you don't have a tier tray, maybe you have a basket, maybe you have a little shelf, whatever it may be, you can put these items in it. I have a metal wagon. It's a little cart thing, a little bathtub that I got at the dollar store. You can use the little crates at the dollar store. It makes little tiny tier trays, if you will, because not everybody likes the big tier tray like what I have. All right. So we have this. Again, we have her heart. She loves that whole farmhouse look. And I got to tell you, so do I. I love the whole farmhouse look, even though I don't live in a farmhouse. I like the rustic look. Now, as you can see, I only tape it in 2 spots. I don't over tape my stuff. Now, she has these squares. What can you use these squares for? Well, you can use them as coasters. You can use them as tier tray stuff. You can use them as tiles on easels. You really can use them for anything, all right? They're such a generic shape. But this whole theme all matches each other. Like I said, I have a pink and a red. I will also say this. Please note that there's very few designers that are in the Sassy Subber tribe that can design for Ashley. I am one of them. You have Tori and you have Shelly, who are able to design for Ashley's blanks for my group. Okay. Not all designers in the group can design for Ashley, because she does have her own group, which you can find on Facebook, which is Apareicum. All right. So we have that. We're also going to prep this guy too. So get everything out of the way in the hard substrates. So we're going to be doing the heart. We're going to do this double-sided because again, this is going to be a car charm. It could be, like I said, we're going to be able to put it on the tier tray. So first things first, let's get this all pressed. Let me get the paper out. Now, as you can see in here, you want to be able to protect your investment. I already know my pressure is set because I did that big one yesterday. Now, question comes up time and time again, MDF. What are your settings for MDF? Typically, they're $3.95 for 60 seconds. All right. Do you have to pre-press your MDF? Technically, yes and no. So the smaller stuff, you don't technically have to pre-press it because it's smaller, less moisture content in it. But the larger items, for me, it's anywhere between 6 and 8 inches. Anything bigger than that, you definitely have to make sure you pre-press first. Jody, can you put, thank you. She's getting on it today. Poor lady. She is all over the place. All right. So I am doing multiple substrates on here. We're going to add our paper to the top. Again, we protect our investment. What is that investment? It's our platen and anything after that. Okay. So we want to protect any off-gassing that will come off. Dark colors do bleed through your paper, can bleed through onto your top platen. Once it bleeds onto your top platen, it can off-gas onto your next project. So we're protecting everything. You will see people who are saying, oh, you don't need butcher paper. It's fine. No, you know what? I just live by the rule that I'd rather be cautious and protect things than be, safe than sorry kind of a thing. So that's where we're at. So while that's cooking away, let's talk about the reason why I use the elastic cord versus the jute when making car charms, and or the tags for the trays. The reason being is it stretches. So I can get it up and around my mirror. I could get it up and around the handle without having to tie it. This is why I like this stretch. Okay, so this is the reasoning behind it. We're gonna wait for the heart to get on here. We're gonna thread the whole thing on. We're gonna tie it off, and I'll show you how I tie that off in just a second. Let me just see what's going on here. Jody is on the ball this morning. She absolutely is. Now, people often ask, Nikki, we make custom things. You're right, we do. But does it always have to have a name on it? No, it doesn't always have to have a name to be a custom. It could have a saying. You don't have to have names on everything. So like my tier tray stuff doesn't have my name on it to be a custom thing because, well, currently nobody has this design. They will after today, but you know what I mean. Not everything has to have a name. So this is going to cool off for just a hot second because I need those gloves. And we're going to repress. I'm going to leave that paper on there because there's a spot on there because I got to put this guy on here. Okay. Let me show you what that looks like close up without a glare, hopefully. I just got to wait for, there's a delay on the camera, on the Facebook and the YouTube. So I just want to make sure. It is a pink. It's going to be easier to see probably in this camera. If you look down in the little one, that's what that pink looks like. So it's a pretty pink. It's not an in-your-face pink. Now this next set, these guys are the red set. And I'm in love with them. Check that out. Dang, girl, you did good today. Go, Nikki. Go, Nikki. So what you're going to get in that set, you are going to get, I'm going to sell this as a bundle set. That's right. You are going to get a bundle set, and you're going to have these shapes, plus the earrings, plus the heart keychain, plus the flag shape that will match. Flag separate, because it's all an Ashley bundle. So the Ashley bundle will have these, the earrings, the keychain, oh, and the heart that we're going to make that all match this set. You're going to get it as a bundle, and you'll be able to get it as a red and as a pink bundle, right? I love me a good bundle. Okay. So I decided, let's do an Ashley bundle, an Ashley bundle with, again, the square, the mason jar, the heart, the earrings, the keychain, and the heart sign that we're going to do will be all in this bundle set. I love it. Okay. So how cute is that? This was all hand drawn by me. I was sitting drawing it last night, and I was showing this Beverly, and she goes, I love that one. We must have tossed around color ideas back and forth. I liked the clear jar. It does come without the words on it, so that you can add your own words if you want, but mine does have the words. This one does have the Be Mine. That's just how this design goes. And this one does have the love. So the only one that doesn't have it is this, and the two different size hearts and the earrings don't have that. So this is the red set. So let's press this back one. There we go. Match it up, because why not? All right. So I'm going to do this corner. I like to do just edges sometimes on these. Let's go throw this on the press. I got a blank spot. That's down there. So let's talk about these signs, okay? For a hot second. Do you see this? So you can use your Pro Tool to pull this off, the plastic. You can also let it sit on your heat press to warm up your film a little bit. It makes it a lot easier to pull this off. But because it's being currently used, we're going to pull this off this way. These are single-sided. It won't make that noise, believe it or not, when you warm up the plastic. Okay. We will pre-press this. Why? It is over 8 inches. I like to pre-press my very large substrates. If it does bend, if it warps a little bit, wait till it cools after you've pressed it, flip it over, and give it a nice solid, close it, clamp it kind of thing. Press for about 10 seconds. It'll flatten this back out. You can also put something heavy on it while it's hot. I choose not to. I have seen Ashley do it that way, but I choose not to put anything heavy on it. And the only reason why I don't, because I put something heavy that wasn't a full, it didn't cover it fully, and I ended up with an indent. So make sure that whatever you put on it that's heavy is the same size as your substrate, so that you don't end up with little indents. Okay. Let's put that right there. Let's pull this off. Now I'm just going to throw this on, give it a pre-press. I am going to put some butcher paper down on the bottom, because whatever moisture does come off on it, I want it to go onto the paper. Okay. I close it. I lock it down. I'm squeezing out that moisture out of this. I'm going to give it was set. I'm going to give it a good couple seconds to do this, because I want the moisture to come out of it the best of the ability. So for this, I gave it a 15-second pre-press. We're going to put this down because, holy good Lord, it's caught. Okay, there's that. Okay, so let that cool down for a second so I can figure out my fingers here. Now, I left this sign plain. Please understand, because I didn't know what I wanted on it. So I left it plain. I'm going to add some a bow to it. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to make just kind of a crazy bow. It won't even actually be a bow per se. So we have that. All right. Line this up. Perfect. 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 Let's move this up just a touch. Make sure she's all the way around. We're going to tie this here and this up here and this here. Okay. I'm going to use that paper again because I wasn't pressing anything. We're going to put it right in that same spot. We're going to put some butcher paper on the top of this. There's a lot of red in this design, so let's move this up my time. Okay. We already know it's got the correct pressure. I've been working on it. So we do have that. We will be prepping this. I'm going to show you the two different types of flags that we're doing. We are going to do them on the single-sided canvas ones from Marvin. As you can see, I did two different colors, right? So you have the red and the pink. We're going to do both of those because you got to squish the heck out of those canvas ones. And that's just something you have to do for those. So good morning to all. We're also going to work on that. Like I said, we're going to work on that bow that we're going to use. And you can use fabric, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to add in some ribbon into it. So I'm going to go over, well, I have a few seconds to get the other ribbon that I need. Okay. We have this. We also need to get the fabric that I want. And I'm going to show you how to do a very shabby chic one. All right, let me just, it looks peachy. I think it's peachy. Peeking under the hood. She looks good under the hood. Okay. Ow. Even with nails, this hurts. Okay. I'm going to pull this off and let this cool off over here for literally a second or 10. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. So while that cools off, let's make the bow for it. One of the things that I love about Ashley is she does love a lot of stuff that you can make on your own. She loves that whole farmhouse look. She's not afraid to make a bow. Her and I both have been making bows for an eternity. So I have some fabric, got it at Michael's. Pinking shears. Now, what you decide your width of your fabric is, up to you. Okay. So right here, I will have 4. So I'm going to do another set. I'm eyeballing it. I am not measuring this at all. There's no need. There's no need to measure this. You want it to be wonky. So we're going to do this. Now, I might want to scale this down just a little bit. That is a really big bow or a big substrate, so I can get away with a bigger bow. Okay. So now I have all these pieces. Put those there. We're going to add in some ribbon. I get my ribbon from Paper Mart. If anybody asks where I get my ribbon from. Because this is a red one, I want red and black into this. We've got some check pattern. I'm going to kind of just eyeball it again. So I'll probably end up trimming all of this. Oh, come on. Of course, you got to get the one pair of scissors in your shop that doesn't work, right? Because it's a satiny type ribbon. Okay. So I'm going to say roughly whatever that is. And just cut a bunch of those. Okay. You will go in, you're going to jazz up the edges. You're going to give them a mitered cornered look. I have 3 of those. We'll see what that looks like. Mitered look. We're just going to go at an angle and then at another angle. Your angles really don't matter. Okay. So now we're going to take this Love Shabby Chic Bows and we're going to start layering it however you desire. Okay. So you can go, for an example, you can go like this. Again, I will be trimming these black pieces. It will get all trimmed. Okay. Just keep layering. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Okay. And just keep. So just do it however you want, but just kind of keep going. So like I said, I make it over big so that I can trim. You can't add, you can always take away. All right. And just keep layering it on until you're done with your ribbon. So we've got about 2 more that we've got to do. Now you can decide if you want that ribbon to be on the top, bottom, wherever you want it. All right. So there is that. Because it is the centerpiece, I think I'm going to add a red to that because it is the center and I really like that red to pop. Okay. Now, in the easiest way to do this, grab yourself a zip tie. Okay. Take it, pinch it, walk it up. Okay. Slide your zip tie underneath. Don't super tighten it down. Okay. You want to be able to go in here and fix pieces if you have to. Okay. Flip it over. Tighten it just a little bit more. And you keep so that when you go like this and you tighten it in, okay, and then you just go in and you start trimming up all these pieces. So when I go to add in the center to this, which will be a bow itself, it's going to have this really cool shabby chic look. So now let's go in. We'll trim this up. We'll see if we want to make it smaller. Plug in the hot glue gun because you're going to need that. Okay. I'm going to take that ribbon because, again, I want the red and black in the center. You could leave it like that and just put a black center or a red center. You can even put one of these fabric centers in there. You guys know me well enough to know there's always a bow on everything. It's my way of life. Bows are a way of life in my world. Okay. I'm going to add a bow to my center. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. Prep, right? And this will go sit in here. And then we're going to add it to our thing. But I won't be able to trim that until I see what it looks like. Fluff these out. Fluff them out. Pull this down because it's a little bit big on that one side. Okay, I don't need a huge bow. And then it can sit right in here. And this will be, I'll tie this first before I glue this on. Okay. I'll go like this, turn this, and turn this. Now, one nice thing by you gluing it, you can glue it so that these guys sit the way you want them to sit. You can prep that all. So we're just going to leave it for right now and see what we can find. Now let's grab that. Now, that is a huge bow, okay? But it's working for me. It's definitely working for me. I'm going to want to trim it up just a little bit and go in and give this A little bit here, a little bit there. We're going to go in and trim that fabric up a little bit. Whoops. Could you do a traditional bow, black burlap bow or whatever? Of course you can. You can do whatever you want. It's up to you. We're just going to go in, trim up this fabric. The crazier the look, the more doodly effect it has. I'm just going in and trimming this up because, again, you can take away, you cannot add. I'm trimming off about the same amount, whoops, on each one, roughly, right? Because there's no exact science to a shabby chic bow. All right, trimming that all up. Think, oh, no, there's that one, and there's that one. Perfect. Okay, so now it's giving that more shabby chic vibe that I want. Now that's better. All right. Oh, I might want to trim this one up. That one looks a little wonky. Let's trim this one up just a touch. I want those satin bows or satin pieces to stick out. That's what I wanted on this. Let's move all of this stuff out of the way. Okay. Now we're going to go in here with our ribbon, whatever ribbon you choose, completely up to you. Get it nice and tall because I'm going to use this also as my hanger. Okay. First things first. Let's tie the bow to the board. And then I'm going to run it through again and tie it through. Okay. So now we have this, and let's tie it. Now, you might want to do whatever you want to do. I'm going to see how this works because I have to go to the back of this. We're just going to tie. Oh, I know what I want to do. Sorry. I'm trying to think. Do you know how hard it is to think on a Sunday when you haven't had that much coffee? Okay. Let me tell you all about it. It's fun. Okay. So I'm going to try to move this knot though, because there we go. Flip it over and tie your knot to the back when you're tying this. Okay. Now what you want to do is come over here and tie this one into here. And bring this up so that you can. God, this is so adorable. Now, I might just tie a bow, but first I'm going to tie the knot because bows come out. Tie the knot first. And then if you want to tie a bow here, you can. You can also leave it. I tend to leave it on the top. I really don't care because I want the focal point to be on this. So I'll just do that. Okay. Now that we have this, we're going to fluff, make sure everything is where I want it to be. We're going to add our bow. Make sure your bow's sitting the way you want it. Because, we all know once you glue it, you can't do it, undo it. Okay. And this is where my bow's going to be. So we're going to take this off. And take this off. Oh, that works. Okay. Now, for me, this bow is driving me nuts. I'm not going to lie to you. It absolutely is. Watch. It is driving me crazy. Short drive. Okay. There we go. A little better now. Okay. Just wasn't laying the way I wanted it to. And trust me, I still to this day will have problems even with my bows. So much better, much better. What pressure should you use? I use a firm pressure on the big heart. I like to squish mine. I don't use light pressure on my big MDF because you have a chance of it having a pressure spot in the middle, especially on a clamshell. Okay. Making sure this stays. All right, and then look at that. How adorable is that? Let's look at the big camera. And there you go. Let's wipe off all the fabric that's on here. And there you go. You have a shabby chic doodle looking sign that screams Valentine's Day. Now, it looks kind of orangey. It is different reds. This is a darker red. This is a lighter red. As you can tell, the fabric in here gives it a different red. The same as with black, but give me a hearts and loves on this one. Let me know what you think in the comments section. But here you go. This is that heart, and it just is adorable. So this is part of that doodle set that you guys see. We're going to hang this guy up in the back. He's right there. So there is that. I mean, honestly, super easy. You can make those what I call shabby chic kind of bows for everything that you do in your business. Does it always have to be a burlap bow? No, it doesn't. You can go get yourself some fabric and make a bow out of the fabric just by using your pinking shears. You don't have to have this crazy bow in order to make a bow. Okay. If you want to know how to make a shabby chic bow, we can talk about that real quick. Again, for those of you who want to know how to make a very simple bow without actually making the bow, again, take that little piece, just scrunch this up, and there you go. That's it. Add a center, add some zip ties, and there you go. You have a bow. If you want to do a double one, make sure you measure it. I know you guys struggle on the whole bow bust. Go like this, put them together. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see. Okay, so put them together like this, and I'll show you again. So you can have one where you pinch it, okay, and then there's a bow, or you could take two and come all the way up, grab this, come all the way up, okay, and there you go. And just like that, I'm going to use a little zip tie here to show you. Okay, so again, zip tie it, stack them. I zip tie because it's like having another set of hands. I make sure that it looks even. I pinched it together correctly. Okay. And just fluff. Super easy. And if you don't like it, take out the zip tie. Okay. Let's cut this off. And now, if you want, you can just add a center. And now you've got a very shabby chic bow. If you look like it's like off center for some reason, just kind of pull gently. All right. You could pull this all in here. You can twist this around. And now you've got a very shabby chic looking bow. Add this to your center, right? You can add a red center. It really doesn't matter. It does not matter. You don't have to have these boutique style bows for your farmhouse shabby chic look. Very easy, very simple, very in right now for the stuff that we're doing. All right, moving right along. Move this stuff out of the way. Now we did this thing right here. Let's talk about this guy. First things first, let's cut yourself a generous piece of elastic. Now I use the elastic cord. It's also from Beadland, which means it comes from Michaels. All right, this is 5 yards. You can get elastic cording on Amazon as well. Okay. Again, I just feed it. You can knot it on here. I tend to add knots along the way, and it just is for security reasons. That's the only reason. I bring it down as close as I can get it. Let's see. One of these is longer than the other. Why is that? Hold on. One of these is longer, and I don't know why. Ah! Do you know what it's like? You know what? Start over, Nick, because you totally just knotted that in the wrong spot. Yeah, I'm not the only one who makes mistakes around here. We all do, right? Let's try it again. It knotted quicker than I needed it to. And I hate when that happens. Okay. Hate when that happens. So we're just going to, 1, do it a different way. 2. Okay. Now that I have my knot in place, it's going to keep this on here, even though the bead will go right over the snug of the top of this. Trim this up a little bit. Now I've already set up how I wanted to do it. I laid it out before. Go ahead and let's bead. Wooden beads you can find on Amazon. What you decide to do with your beads, completely up to you. Again, I like to use the elastic because it does stretch. It is very forgiving. If I get quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. Your sound did not go off. It just really means I'm concentrating, and I'm trying not to do dead air. But you know what? Here we are. All right. You decide how many beads you want to put on this. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I did that wrong. Did I do that right? Black. Right. Okay. Nope. I did that wrong. Do you ever just have one of those moments that you just have to, no, you're right, Nick. This is why you should set it out and not let it roll away on you. All right. So just make sure that if you guys are watching me live for the first time this morning, make sure you guys put #SassySubber. And if you're watching me on the rewind, make sure you put #rewind. It lets me know who is watching it on the flip side, you know, because church, Sunday morning, get it, even though this is our church. Then we have, I always say I'm doing God's work by teaching. So there we go. Now we have this. All right. This is, I could add a black to the top if I wanted to, but I'm not. Now you're going to say, Nick, this is going to come out. You're right. It is. So I take one of these and I feed it back through. You could also do it with 2 of them. You can feed it back through so that it knots up and around it. All right, so that it stays anchored. Sometimes you can get both of these through. Sometimes you can't, depending on the size of your cording. You might only be able to put one. What this does is it locks it into place and you can pull it tight. Okay, so now this is locked, and then you can add a knot up to the top so that it stretches around. I put my knot ever so slightly up here because this is elastic. It will stretch really far. So when you're putting it around your rear view mirror, you don't have to have a lot. So what is a lot, Nikki? What is that size that we're talking about right now? So that little piece that you're asking me about is approximately 3 inches. I give it about 3 inches. It will stretch up and around your rear view mirror. So I will make sure that my knot goes right there. The best of my ability, of course. Okay. And put my knot right there. Okay. And then we're going to trim it up. And there you go. So I put an anchor around here. And again, because this stretches, this can be where it wants to be. Okay. And there you go. And that right there is a really cute car charm that you can use. You can use it as a tier tray. I will show you that. Let's put this tier tray together before we get to the hat. So let me just set it all up. As you can see, I can do this even one-handed. I want to put this around here, and I want to have it droop off the side. So now I've got this really cute charm. I'm going to add in my little sign. I'm holding this, so it's probably going to fall because that's just called Life. Okay. Now, this one is the pink set, so I would want to have this all match, be matchy, but there you go. This is the red set. It does come with this too. I just happen to do pink because that's going to be staying at my house. I'm actually going to be auctioning this off in my own business page with the red set. So we have that. But how cute and adorable is that? I mean, seriously. So we have this. You'll get the earrings, you'll get this charm, and you'll get the door hanger all as an Ashley bundle set for this particular. Uber cute, right? Let me just move this over. Sorry. I don't even know which direction I'm supposed to go in at this point. Okay. Does that look good? Right? It's too cute. Too cute. Too cute. So we're going to put that over there. All right. Let's do this hat before we get to Marvin's. In the last of the Ashley line for today, before we get to Marvin's flags, because there are some things you need to know about Marvin's flags. Let's clear this off. So let's talk about these patches for a hot second. We're going to put it on a beanie cap. Now, it does come with the glue. You're going to put the glue, this glue strip thing on afterwards. So the rougher side, there's a smoother side and kind of almost like a rougher side. You are going to put that on there. It's for like 310 for, I think she said 10 seconds. But we're going to do that afterwards. First things first, we got to press this. So this is her faux leather patches that she is selling that you could put on just about anything. Depending on what you are putting it on, though, you might want to use the E6000. For this purpose, I should be able to put it on the hat with no problem. Okay. Now, you want to go with light pressure. So I'm going to pull out one of her other patches just so I can see what light pressure is. I don't want to be doing it on this patch. She said you're going to do it for, I believe it's 375 for 50 seconds. So we're going to lower my temp down to 375 for 50 seconds, I believe is what it was. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this pressure up. A little bit more, I think. I hate that pressure is so subjective. I'm afraid. You know what? We're just going to wing it because I think I've got it right. I don't know. I really don't know. My paper fell. All right. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to put my paper, flippy it, dippy it over. Come on. All right. You know what? Okay. Let it go. Let it go. Pray that I have light pressure. Pray that I know what light pressure is for this particular thing. So there you go. Light pressure is subjective. It's like kiss me pressure. You want it very gentle on there. You don't want it squishing down into it because you can ruin the substrate. You could ruin the faux leather on it. So again, lower your temp to 375 for 50 seconds, I believe it is. Yes, it is. Light pressure. Thank you, Jody, for that. And then once we let it cool, we're going to throw the backing on. Now, she does tell you to do it for like 310 for 10 seconds. I'm really good at putting this stuff on, so I know how to put it on with what I have working on there already. But she does recommend that, so please use her recommendations. It's something that I know how to do to put this stuff back on. So there you go. About 15 more seconds. I usually, for this, when it's at the higher and I don't want to drop it all the way down to have to bring it all the way back up for the flag, you can use an iron. Pull this up. Let's see how we did. Well, she looks good. Okay. Looks good. I did it. Ow. Ow. Okay. Let's bring this around. Okay. So that's what the patch looks like. It's for my husband. As you guys know, he is an Army vet. So You take this, line her up onto the back. Okay. The heat from this is going to help attach this a little bit. I am going to just go real quick. Okay. Let it cool. This is where you want to let it cool completely. I am then going to go put it on the hat, but you want it to cool completely before you go to try to pull this off. Now, I did leave it at the same temperature. It was at 375, just so you know, and I did it for a quick 5 seconds. And then I'm going to let it cool. Again, please go by what Ashley says. I just don't want to have to pull this down and go back up for the flag that we have to do next. All right, so super. There we go. Hello, BFF in my head, and hello, Miss Teresa. All right, so now that I have this cooled off, when you go to peel this off, you should now see the sticky part on the back. You're going to position this, lint roll this. I don't even know where my lint roller is, but we're going to position this where we want it. How pretty is that going to be? I'm sorry, it should be pretty. How cool. Okay. I am going to come up just ever so slightly. Okay. And we're going to go throw this on there. I'm going to put a piece of paper on the top, though, because, again, let the heat go through. It's about a 5 second or so. Let's see if it's stuck. I'm afraid to do it. Okay. And then I'm pushing down on it to make sure that it's stuck on there. Let it cool before you go to try to press it again. Let the whole thing cool to make sure that it has stuck. You don't want it to be hot when you're trying to say, oh, did this stick at all? Nope. Okay, check that out. Nice. Look at me go. Okay, so that is what it looks like. Really, really cool. Detail. It's all about the detail. Okay. Love that. All right. So I'm going to take my hat off that I have on right now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, because we're all about transparency around here about what something looks like. My husband likes these hats. I personally like the ones that have the cuff on them, but there you go. Now you know what it looks like. But how cool is that? I'm digging it. I'm totally digging this, right? Totally dig. Right? Kevin, take a peek. What do you think? You like it? This is for you. So these are really, this is on nice and solid too. Like I can't pick my fingers through this at all. Great quality patches. So not only does she have them in the oval that's on my head right now, but she has them in a round, a square, and also a rectangle. So the rectangle would do really good. So I would suggest, if you're going to put them on a beanie, I would suggest the rectangle or the oval, because they're not overly huge. I want to say this is like 2 by 3. These, I feel, for a beanie is just, that's really big. So there you go. If you're looking for patches, head over to Apareicum. I believe it's apareicumdesignco.com. Go over there, grab yourself some patches. These guys really press gorgeous. And I know I keep feeling this because I'm waiting for it to pick up. Other patches that I've seen and I've used, I wait for the pickup. I wait for it to pull on there. And if you notice being on my head and it being stretched, it didn't do anything. I didn't pull anything. Yes, it is washable. You can wash these. The thing that you would, I would suggest is that you should be able to, I wouldn't do hot water. I wouldn't do high temperature. So I would do cold and tumble dry on low. But I would definitely say you could wash these. So, because they're going on hats. Really cool, right? There you go. Now we've traded back to my nerdette hat. Okay, so this is for the win. We like this. We've won on this one. So we love the patches coming out of Apareicum. Absolutely gorgeous, stunning, and great quality. So there you go. If you're looking for a great quality patch, you can head over to apareicumdesignco.com for that. You need a sassy patch for a fold over beanie. I do. You're right. 100%. Oh, Cheyenne's here too. Okay. So let's do those flags. Now, let's talk about these flags. These flags come from Marvin. All right. Y'all know I love the microfiber ones. They're thin. I don't want to say they're super thin, but they're thin to where you don't have to fight it. I have fought plenty of these in my day, but I've mastered it because you need to squish the heck out of me pressure. So I do pre-press mine. I pre-press them to get down all of this because there is a lot of bulk in there. Are these gorgeous flags still? Absolutely. As long as you know, you got to pre-press them first. So we're going to pre-press it. We are going to do the squish the heck out of me pressure. Okay. I want to give a nice firm pressure on this. I might even do a little bit more on this. I'm going to up my temperature. I am going to 395 for 65 seconds. Okay. So again, really make sure it is a squish me. There we go. That's squish me pressure. Okay. I'm not saying catapult your press across the room pressure. I am saying definitely a squish me pressure. Okay. So now we are going to press these two flags. There is a right way and a wrong way. Can you do on both sides? You can, but please know that if you do them on this side, you're going to end up with that weird ridge. So I don't. Okay. But can you? Yes. Lay this down. Bring this over here so we can tape it up and you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So now that it's squished flat, remember fabric is not, let's get the other tape. Fabric is never straight. So don't freak out if your ends are not straight. All right. So I'm going to push this up because I had a little bit of a printing issue this morning. I was being a little rushy. Okay. I'm going to tape down where these corners are on here. The reason being is that's the tricky points, right? Those are the heavy points. I'm only doing one-sided on these. I do these as one-sided. You can do a two-sided, but the problem with these being two-sided is you have to, it's the wording and whatnot, because you can see through these. That's why they're called single-sided. Have I done these double-sided? Yes. Have I tried to line them up and be successful? Not even close. So we're not doing it. So do these as single-sided. I know people often ask me, but Nikki, can't you do them? Yeah, technically, yes. Technically, you also have to mirror the whole thing and line it up and make sure it's lined up perfect. And well, we all know how I am about being perfect. So I'm not. We're going to get our butcher paper. Put it on here. We know that we are squish the heck out of me pressure zone. Let's throw it on the press. We had the butcher paper at the bottom. We had the butcher paper at the top because when you are squishing the life out of these, you, there you go. Done. I know some people use the term squish the heck out of me. I've seen it now all over social media when people have been starting to describe pressure to people. So the squish the heck out of me pressure or kiss me pressure was something that I started years ago. And I'm glad that it has taken over so that when I say to you, squish the heck out of me, you know exactly what I mean. If I say firm pressure, you know exactly what I mean in your terms. So if I say that, you'll go, okay, that's as hard as I can push it, or that's firm, or medium is like, yeah, I didn't have to struggle with it. I'm not going to give myself carpal tunnel in my hands. I'm not going to need a shoulder surgery at any point in time. Kiss me means you just barely are closing your press. Okay. So those are just some terms. Are they technical terms? No, but they're relatable terms. Okay. So nothing that I say in the pressure category is a technical term. It is a Nikki term. It's a sassy term. And it doesn't mean it's wrong, right, or indifferent. It's just a term that I've used to get you guys to understand what I'm talking about. So there is that. All right. Let's see what we got going here. Now, because it's on here and I'm not moving it, let me move this over so you can see me a little bit better. Okay, on the bigger screen. Because I'm not moving it, like I want to see, I don't look like I have any pressure issues. We're just going to wing it. We're winging it. Ready? Boom. Let's hope I did it right. Because once you move it, you move it. Oh, she's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Let's show you. There you go. She's gorgeous. Check her out. I'll show you what it looks like up against there. But so this is the pink one. Again, remember I said it's not an in-your-face pink. I didn't want that. I'm going to do the red, and then we'll do the side-by-side comparison. This is why we use blowout paper right here. I can't express this any further, why we use blowout paper, okay? For that very reason, because it does, because it does get onto things that could have potentially been on another project, because we do add an extra bleed to our flags. Why? Because fabric isn't straight. I cannot do that at exactly 12 inches by 18 inches because it's going to be cockeyed in some places. The corners might not be mitered correctly. And that's okay because it's fabric. The same with towels, anything that's fabric, nothing is ever perfect. So we make a bigger bleed. That would have potentially been on another project. Okay, let that cool for a second because that's going to be a hot tamale. Put that there, bring this over here. Flippy dippy the camera around. While I'm sitting here, did you guys happen to see my live where I was over in silky socks for a hot second and I pressed a sock in a tumbler press? Yeah, that was a thing. If you missed it, make sure you go back into the group and you catch where I made that magic happen because somebody, his name is Justin over in Silky Socks, made the suggestion and I ran with it. Yes, you can. So if you're looking for a fun video full of high energy, make sure you go check out that video in the group. If you're looking for other fun videos or other sasses, if you will, and small tutorials, head over to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you watch them. Please watch them. All right. So now this is at squished me pressure, pre-pressed. We're going to go throw it on the press. Sometimes I have high energy. Sometimes I'm just into the zone and explaining things. Not all the time does it have to be crazy in your face, but sometimes I just get excited about new things or just some crazy things or crazy project ideas, like throwing a sock in a tumbler press. Who knew, right? So if you're watching me for the first time, welcome. If you're unfamiliar with who I am, my name is Nikki Adamquitz, and I am the Sassy Subber. And I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I'm on Pinterest. Etsy is where my design shop is. I also sell sticker packs. That's right. I did a relaunch on my sticker packs. And why? Because my tribe asked for it. You guys asked for me to expand my sticker business. You can go to thesassysubber.com, go to the wholesale section, and you now have 3 options. I only offered 1 at one point. Now I have 3. We've expanded so much. You have until the 25th to go and sign up for that subscription pack. You have the 3 options. Option 1 is your $20 pack. You're going to get anywhere between 36 and 60 stickers plus a DIY project. And of course, I throw the candy in. And then on the next one is the $38 one. Again, it's just a bigger pack of the $20 one, except you're going to get 120, between 120 and 140 stickers and a DIY project. Give that a second. All right. And of course, the candy. And then those 2 are monthly. Then the third option is the business logo package. That one comes out quarterly. So every 3 months, it'll come out in January. So you pay for it in January. These all get processed through the credit card system on the 15th of the month. So in January, April, July, and October, it gets processed out. They won't get shipped out until February, May, August, September. Okay. You'll have some business logo ones in there, and some of them will be themed logo ones where it might be like a holiday, it might be your state, but it's definitely more business orientated instead of the fun stickers that you can see all around that I do. All right, so make sure you go over to sassysummer.com for that. Let's see how I did. We're liking it. Let's pull it. God, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Listen, I can't say that I mastered these flags all the time. They could be a hot minute. I took some time when I was first doing flags. It took me a lot to figure out how to do these flags. And once I realized I needed to squish the heck out of me pressure to get so I didn't end up with anything in these corners, it worked. And I mean, it's a squish me pressure so that it sinks into your bottom platen. I don't do light pressure or you end up with pressure issues. But as you can see, she's gorgeous. Let's put them side by side now. And there are the two colors of the two sets that you're going to get. Now you can see what you have right there. Yes, the $38 pack is the same as the original pack. So yes, that $38 one is the same as the original. We just added on a 20 and a 50 this time around. We added on those two other ones. So absolutely. So there you go. Those are what the two looks like. It's a really soft muted pink. Love the pink. It's kind of like what I call bubble gum. So there are the two. There you go. Now you know. And the more you know on this one. All right. So there you go. Those are what those two look like. One of these is mine. We could thank Marvin from Driven by Graphics. So Driven by Graphics Supply Co. Has flags. He has so much more. That's part of the collection that I have that I just put out with all the things. So thank you guys so much for all of your stuff for that. Let's see. Pretty, right? Yes, never use Jeffafa pressure. Exactly. All right. I don't normally read the comments, but the comments today are rolling today. So let's get to that part of the show that we call the recap, the rewind, whatever we want to call it. I'm going to grab all the things that we did. All right. Show you, talk about them so that you guys can go be on your way for the rest of your day, and I get to go do grocery shopping. Because you know what? It's Sunday. All right, let's do this. So we took the time, and I've got more to show you at a different Sass, but we took the time to celebrate Apareicum. Apareicum Design Co. is run by Ashley Dodd. She does have her own group. She is also a graphics designer. I've known Ashley now for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in July that I've known Ashley. And honestly, she makes really cool MDF products and all of that jazz. So if you know Ashley, she loves everything farmhouse country. She loves her tier tray stuff. And that's what we talked about today. I took a design that normally I don't do, which is a doodle effect, but I'm loving being able to draw on my Wacom. And I've been doing a lot more of my own hand-drawn stuff so that it is original, it is mine, and whatnot. So let me talk about it. We have the square, which goes with the heart, which goes with the mason jar, which goes with the earrings. And where did it go? There it is. Even though this is pink, goes with this heart. So you're going to get a red set or a pink set. You guys will be able to choose which one you purchase. It will come with the sign that we talked about. Remember, when you're pressing anything larger than 8 inches, you definitely want to pre-press. I like to do it over 6 inches just to make sure. So anything larger than that, I like to pre-press for a good solid 15 seconds to get any of the moisture out of it. Longer is okay as well. We made this shabby chic looking bow here, right? Which goes right up the alley of the doodle effect that you have going on here. But that's absolutely adorable. You can put something in the center. You absolutely can. That's what you did with the flag. So this does come in red. It does come in the pink. You can dress it up the way that you want. It comes in that set with that door hanger. Again, you get the heart, the mason jar. You're going to get the square, the earrings, and then you can either use the keychain as a keychain. You can use it as a car charm. Again, we put it on elastic because of the stretchability, and it allows for you to move it over the top instead of having to tie it. I like jute. Don't get me wrong. I love me some jute, but the elastic just works better. All right. We made this adorable looking mini wreath for our tier trays. And again, I used that keychain charm. You will get it in red or in pink with your set. Use it however you want. You can even make a necklace out of it. Who knew? Right? We talked about that. Then I went over to Driven by Graphics and we made the matching flags for those. Okay. We also have it in red and in pink for these. You get to pick what you have. It does not come with Be Mine on them. It is blank, so you can add your own personalization, just like it does on the signs for the hearts. So we do have that. I did show off the one that matches my theme from last week, which is that wooden frame, the wood look. We talked about the we talked about the stacked heart, 3 stacked hearts in the wood theme that goes with my set from last week, because this is the theme in my house is the pink, and I do already have a flag already in my Etsy shop that matches this. So everything does match. I am all about sets. Does it have to be matchy where it's the same thing on every substrate? Absolutely not. Can it color coordinate? Absolutely. Then this way it kind of just goes with the theme of your house. So you can hang this up on your wall. You can even hang your flags on your wall. They don't have to be a garden flag. They could be a door banner. They can hang in your bathroom as a tapestry. These don't have to hang on your door. Just make sure you have them in a covered section because it is MDF. They can hang in your house. You can put them anywhere you want. It really is completely up to you. Your tier tray charms. Well, those tier tray stuff doesn't have to necessarily be in a traditional tier tray. You can put them in a basket. You can put them in a crate. You can put them in a wagon. You can put them in whatever you want, really. It does not have to necessarily be a tiered tray in order to have those tier tray decor. It's just where it started. Okay, so look at it that way. We also talked about Ashley's patches. You guys saw me make the patch. That's right. So this patch, completely awesome. It is a faux leather patch, and now that it's completely cooled, again, I keep trying to see if I can pull this sucker off because I'm afraid that it's going to come off, because like traditional other patches that I've seen that are glued on, it comes off. I can't even get my nails in underneath it, so that's pretty darn cool. All right. You want to press this for 375, 50 seconds, light pressure, right? Kind of kiss me pressure. You don't want to go firm pressure. You'll figure that out for yourself because the firm pressure can ruin these. So you want to go with light pressure. And then you want to put the backing on it. Now, depending on the thing that you put this on, whether it's a bag, if you put on a bag, you really want to use the E6000 because it adheres better to the bag due to the fabric of what you're attaching it to. This is great for hats. So you can put it on a baseball cap. You can put it on the knit hats. As you can see, the oval one is a generous size. It's like 3 by 2. She does have the square, the round, and the rectangle as well. So head over to Apareicum Design Co. for that little bit of information. Again, great products over there. She has a ton of them when it comes to all of her MDF needs. I have some more MDF stuff that she sent me that I will be pressing. I'll also be doing small tutorials on those tier tray stuff as well. So look forward to those on my YouTube channel, TikTok, and Instagram. I think that's it in a nutshell. Talked about my tribe packs. Make sure you guys go over to thesassysummer.com. Get your tribe pack today. Order by the 25th. Be in it. There were tons of people in it before we did the relaunch and added in the 2 additional packages so that it was more budget conscious for those who needed it to be. Because again, the $38 one came with a lot of stickers, between 120 and 140 stickers, and that was a lot for a lot of small businesses. So we dialed it back and made a smaller pack that was a little bit more user-friendly for people. There are some businesses that need that bigger pack, and then there's some that only wanted their logo packs every 4 months. So Honestly, it works out for everybody. I've hit everybody's price point. I've hit everybody's needs with these tribe packs. Make sure you go check them out at thesassysubber.com. And as always, you'll be able to find these designs and so much more on Etsy. So it's etsy.com/shop/the-sassy-subber. One last thought of the day. You guys do know that I do have affiliate links. The affiliate links are with Silky Socks and Driven by Graphics. I also have my Amazon store. The monies that we do make from those three places until I get my Condi and my Equid, once I get those all straightened around, for those two, all the monies that I make from any of my affiliate links are going to sprinkling around the nation. That's right. I have picked different organizations we're going to sprinkle to and send them on behalf of the tribe. What does this cost you as the tribe? Nothing, really. You're already out buying things. You're already out buying my designs. You're already out buying stuff from Driven by Graphics. You're already out buying stuff from Silky Socks. You're ordering stuff off the Amazon. You'll be ordering stuff off of Condi. And for those who want to have a website, you also got Equid too. So there you go. Lots of fun things coming down the pike for Sassy 2023. I look forward to seeing you guys, you know where, all later on the flip side.